From the Hindu Kush to the Rockies, a journey from Kabul to Colorado in community-led transformation, a memoir of resilience, advocacy, and transformation by Homayun Milad, Episode 31. And yet, even as Kabul revived itself, the violence did not vanish. The scars of conflict lingered in the air, woven into the fabric of daily life. IEDs were buried beneath the roads that carried families to work and children to school. Car bombs turned ordinary moments into tragedies, shattering the fragile sense of security that people tried so desperately to hold on to. Suicide attackers infiltrated the heartbeat of the city, reducing busy streets to scenes of devastation. Fear was inescapable, woven into the rhythm of life itself. It was in the cautious glances exchanged by pedestrians, in the silent prayers whispered before stepping outside, in the hesitance that gripped hearts whenever the distant sound of an explosion broke the uneasy calm. And then, there was the sound that came next, the shrill, urgent wail of ambulances rushing through the streets, their sirens cutting through the air like a mournful cry of a city perpetually wounded. The ambulance sirens were not simply noise. They were signals, announcements that tragedy had struck yet again, that somewhere in the city, lives had just been lost, or bodies torn apart by an attack were being hurried away to hospitals, their fate uncertain. Over time, the alarms became part of Kabul's soundtrack, no longer startling, but expected. Their frequency turned them into something routine, and yet their meaning never dulled. Every siren carried fear, carried grief, carried another story of death, another reminder that safety was never promised. But love, for this city, for its spirit, for its defiance, was always stronger than fear. There was something about Kabul that transcended the violence, something unbreakable in the way its people clung to hope. Beneath the weight of uncertainty, there was still laughter in its streets, still dreams nurtured within its walls. My love for Kabul was never conditional on its safety. It was a love forged in resilience, strengthened by the understanding that this city, despite everything, would endure. All of these uncertainties became a solid foundation for my work at USIP. Every moment of fear, every road lined with danger, every night shattered by explosions. These experiences did not simply shape my past. They forged the very principles that guided my work in peacebuilding. The years spent witnessing Afghanistan's struggles firsthand made it clear that true peace could not emerge from distant negotiations alone. It had to be rooted in lived experiences, in the resilience of those who had endured war's weight, and in the voices that had long been silenced. When I stepped into my role as a Peace Process Program Manager at the United States Institute of Peace, USIP, I carried not only academic insights and strategic frameworks, but the realities of life in war zones. I knew that sustainable peace could not be imposed. It had to be cultivated through trust, inclusion, and an understanding of the complexities that defined Afghan communities. My mission was to bridge the gap between high-level discussions and grassroots realities, ensuring that those most affected by war were not merely subjects of peace agreements, but active participants in shaping them. At USIP, I worked to translate the lessons learned in Kabul's streets, in Paktia's shattered nights, and in the countless conversations held with local councils and village elders into tangible strategies for conflict resolution. From conducting in-depth political analysis to managing networks of key stakeholders, my role was not just about policy. It was about ensuring that the very foundation of peace was built upon the realities of the people. This work was deeply personal. It was not just an assignment, but an extension of my commitment to ensuring that no future generation would have to endure what mine had, that no child would grow up learning to navigate conflict before they learned to dream, that Afghanistan's name would no longer be synonymous with war, but with resilience, progress, and the possibility of lasting peace. We'll continue this story in the next episode, so stay tuned.